Now, all right, let's get out to our team of reporters out there showing us conditions all across the region.
Our Storm Watch team coverage continues now with Richard Reeve live in Winchester. Hi, Rich.
Hi, how you doing? I tell you, talking about getting slammed, Winchester got it pretty good here. We're talking about 8 inches, and this is that heavy, wet snow that maybe skiers like, but drivers don't. Now, look behind me. This is an access road to one of the shopping plazas here. Steve Rudin talked about this. This is the stuff that's going to freeze tonight, but when we pan over further, we can see Route 7. We actually have some pavement showing, folks, but it has been a struggle here. Take a look earlier. This was I-81. A little after 2 this afternoon, they had a car fire combined with the conditions out here. It backed up traffic in the northbound lane for quite a long time, a backup for several miles. The other route, as we've been talking about, Route 7, pretty stubborn. They had an army of plows, both VDOT plows and county plows, up and down this road, and it still remains slushy for much of the day. The side roads, of course, always difficult. This was a challenging time for drivers, even for folks with SUVs. A lot of folks getting weary of this.
The roads are horrible. Visibility is probably less than a quarter mile. That means there's a lot of snow coming down right now, and the plows can't keep up with getting it off the road.
First half was kind of not so bad with the snow. You know, it's cold, but it didn't snow a lot. But now we're getting clobbered with snow all the time. So hopefully it's the last one. Yeah.
Getting tired of this?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, a lot of folks getting tired of this. As Steve Rudin mentioned, though, the good news is that the snowfall is beginning to dissipate. But again, the big challenge, this stuff behind me, the stuff that's slush, is going to be freezing later. Even more challenges for drivers. In Winchester, Richard Reeve, ABC 7 News.
Okay, Rich. Now, the Virginia National Guard is prepared to tackle winter weather problems today. More than 60 soldiers from the 116th Infantry Brigade Combat Team are deployed right now in northern Virginia and the Shenandoah Valley. The soldiers are expected to get out and help first responders and local authorities as well. They'll be using Humvees and tactical vehicles to provide transportation where heavy snow is blocking roads.
And that's all because we are already seeing a number of crashes and slide-offs because the roads are slick and snow-covered.
That's right. Montgomery County reporter Kevin Lewis spoke with a driver whose car ended up in a precarious position, teetering on a guardrail.
Near whiteout conditions along I-270 in Frederick County, this car slammed into a guardrail near Urbana, while this vehicle skated right into a ditch.
I'm lucky. I'm real lucky.
Mike Sider stood tall as his Ford Escort rested on its side. Sider says his seatbelt and sturdy guardrail kept him safe in this curious crash.
The next thing I know is I'm sliding up the hill, and my gosh, look where I ended up on the guardrail. Thank goodness it saved me from going down this ravine.
And someone pulled up next to me and they were like, hey, you've got a flat, do you need help?
Tyler Porter hit a slick spot while driving in Germantown. His passenger side front tire nailed a concrete curb. This was the outcome.
It was too slippery. My car is just not good enough to get up those kind of hills. It's a Civic. I call it a Honda sled.
Oh, that's our Saltborn.
Planning for the worst, Montgomery County deployed its entire armada of snowplows and salt trucks. Plow drivers say they need space to do their job right.
We're trying to maneuver all the trucks around the traffic that's in our way. Less traffic, the quicker we can do our job.
In case you didn't know, Montgomery County has a live interactive map showing which streets have and have not been plowed. We have a link to that map on our website. To get there, just go to WJLA.com. In Durwood, I'm Kevin Lewis, ABC 7 News.
And also a driver is recovering after his box truck overturned in Camp Springs. It happened this morning along the outer loop near the Branch Avenue exit. The driver suffered minor injuries.
It's going to be a mess to clean up there. Okay, now let's turn to the district and see how things are shaping up there. D.C. Bureau Chief Sam Ford is live in Southwest, actually Northwest. Sam, where are you and what's happening out there?
I'm at DuPont Circle, Leon, and if you take a look over there, you got a convoy of plow trucks who've been moving around the circle here today. Some 220 trucks, D.C. says it has out in the city today. Of course, the federal and D.C. governments were closed today, and the Deputy Mayor for Public Safety, Kevin Donahue, said that was good because he thought that if they had not been closed, it would have been, as he put it, a dangerous rush hour. One thing the city seemed to have plenty of today was taxi cabs. Drivers were offered a $15 surcharge for each trip to encourage them to come out today, and it seems to have worked. The surcharge ends at 7 tonight unless they extend it. The snow emergency declaration meant that snow emergency routes had to be cleared of parked cars, $250 fines for those who did not get the message. City officials invited reporters into the Snow Operations Center, where monitors showed conditions at numerous locations and where Public Works Director William Howland said this is not a normal winter.
2011 was the last normal year that we've had. 2010 we had the blizzard where we had almost 70 inches of snow in D.C. 12 and 13 we had less than 4 inches of snow in both years, and then this year and last year have been extreme cold. So there has not been, other in the last 6 years, there's only been one normal winter. All the rest of them have either been warm or unbelievably cold.
And we're back live here at DuPont Circle. There's talk that there will be a snowball fight here at about 5:30, and of course we'll be here, of course, to see what happens there. But back to what William Howland was talking about. He said that last year the city put down 55,000 tons of salt because of weather. This year, he says the city will put down at least that much and may have to buy more. Reporting live from Northwest Washington, Sam Ford, ABC 7 News.
Okay, Sam, thank you so much. Well, Metro bus service is operating on a moderate snow plan today. Under that plan, some of the routes are suspended, while others operate on detours. At this time, all Metro rail stations are open with service above and below ground. However, Metro Access service is suspended for the entire day. Metro encourages riders to sign up to receive alerts about any changes in their service.
Amtrak is also running on a modified schedule today. The Acela Express and the Northeast Regional Service will still operate between New York City and D.C., but less frequently. The Keystone service between Harrisburg and Philadelphia is modified as well. Amtrak says that passengers should allow for extra time and make sure that you check the train schedule before you leave.
All right, so from the rails to the roads, let's check in on that right now with Horace Holmes. He's live in Mobile Track 7. All right, Horace, how's it looking out there right now?
Well, not too good, Allison. As a matter of fact, photographer Jim Jocelyn here and myself, we've been out on the roadway since just a little bit before noon. We're just pulling, at this point, onto I-270 in Germantown on our way to Damascus. The plows, we saw an army of plows just a little while ago hitting 270. They've done a good job in clearing things out, but it's still very slippery. We took a little detour into Germantown just a minute ago. I was listening very closely as we were doing that to Kevin Lewis's story he shot earlier in the day with all those spinouts in this area, and things have not gotten better on the roadways since he filed that report earlier in the day. But the good news is, as you can see from Mobile Track 7, our cameras out here as we're looking at 270, at least going in this direction, north towards Frederick, there are not too many people on the roads. Coming on the southbound area back into D.C., there are a number of people on the roads, and that's not what the snowplows want to see. They want to see these roadways cleared. As the snow continues to come down here, it is slick. They want to have their way out here so they can get these roads cleared off for people who absolutely necessarily need to be out here on the roadways. Right now we're going to try to make our way as far as we can, as close as we can to Frederick and see how things are. Farther up on I-270, the snow's still coming down. It is coming down a little lighter than it was earlier in the day, but it is still very, very slick out here on the roadways. Back to you guys.
All right, be careful out there, Horace. This brutal winter weather has been a travel nightmare across the country this afternoon. In New York, a Delta plane skidded off a snowy runway at LaGuardia Airport and crashed into a chain-link fence, barely missing the water. Passengers had to slide down an inflated chute to get to safety. At least 6 people suffered minor injuries. Officials say the runway had been reported safe minutes before that accident.
Shortly before the incident at approximately 11:05, 2 planes landed and reported, quote, good braking action on the runways. The runway, this particular runway, had been plowed shortly before the incident, and pilots on other planes reported good braking action.
The NTSB is investigating that incident right now.
So the weather is causing plenty of cancellations and delays at local airports, too.
Chris Papst is live at Reagan National. He's gotten a look at the latest numbers there. Chris, what's the word?
Well, Leon and Allison, on an average day here at Reagan National Airport, there's about 850 flights that go in and out of here. But today, 520 of them have already been canceled. And, of course, the day is not over. Another 100 have been delayed. But if you look behind me here, there is some evidence that some more planes will be leaving here fairly shortly. The runway is technically open. It's not closed at the moment officially, although we haven't seen a plane going in or coming out of here in quite some time. I can't really see what they're doing down there with the zoom of the camera. You can probably see a little bit better than me, but I guess we can assume that they're trying to do something to get that plane ready for some flight. So as we said, 520 planes already have been canceled here, 520 flights, and we spoke to people who are going all over the place, of course, right? It's an airport. We spoke to one guy who's trying to go to Columbus, Ohio. Here's what he had to say about his luck so far trying to find a plane to get him home.
I was scheduled for a 3 o'clock flight today. They called this morning, said that one was canceled. Got rebooked. That next flight got canceled, so I'm trying for number 3.
Now, airport officials say that they do hope by early in the evening the planes, like perhaps the one behind me here, they can start flying out of here. The terminal is getting packed with people, 520 flights. Clearly, a lot of people are in there. The trains, the Amtrak trains, they have been full going out, so the people don't have any other option except to hopefully get on one of those planes that could be leaving later tonight, or else there's going to be an awful lot of people sleeping in this terminal on this Wednesday night, or Thursday night. Live at Reagan National Airport, Chris Pabst, ABC 7 News.
It's going to feel a lot longer than Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah, the days are running together.
Exactly. All right, Chris.